Hi, welcome back to Ignite Success, where we sit on these white couches and we talk to all kinds of interesting folks, professionals, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and hear what they're doing in the community, as well as a little bit of their backstory to motivate and inspire you. I'm Sherrie Clark, I'm your host, and today I have Rodney G.B. Clements on the couch with me, and he is the founder and owner of RN Enterprises.
Good morning, Miss Sherrie.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
We talked some before the show, and I found out more about what you do, and it's so fascinating. Like RN Enterprises, it's just that, like registered nurse, right? That's what it stands for.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So what happened? Tell me a little bit about the backstory. How and why did you create RN Enterprises and what it is?
Well, I've been a nurse for 25 years. I was with the Navy and the Marines years ago, and I became a pediatric and ER nurse. And I worked in many ERs locally here as well. And I got into home infusion about 20 years ago, and I worked with a number of different companies, and I got to know who the good nurses were. And I figured out the licensing for Florida, and I opened up RN Enterprises Infusion Services just over 5 years ago.
Wow. And what do they do?
We provide infusion nurses to people's homes. Patients that require home infusion therapy, they will have seen a physician who has ordered them medications that a specialty pharmacy like CVS or Walgreens or many others would ship the medication to the patient's home with their supplies, and then we send a nurse to their home who will mix up everything and administer the medication appropriately and monitor the patient.
So infusion therapy, meaning it would be like by IV.
IV, intravenous.
Yes. Yeah, and I was telling you that when I had COVID, I went to a place and had infusion therapy full of vitamins. It was like so good, and that how much it helped because it goes right into the bloodstream.
Yes, many people would benefit from IV infusion. In that case, you're talking about IV hydration, which there are many places that are popping up around that's private pay, and you can get vitamins added to it and different nutrients. We specialize in medications that oftentimes cost tens of thousands, and they're all ordered by physicians, and then we send a nurse that does, like I mentioned, mix it up and administer it in the home.
Yeah, which is good and convenient because the patient gets to stay in their environment where they're comfortable and somebody comes to them instead of trying to figure out the transportation issue, right?
Nowadays, almost every therapy that you do in the hospital can be done safely and effectively in the home. Just about everything. Chemotherapy, pre and post transplants, hydration, everything.
And you did this during COVID. You were telling me about
We did.
that.
Yes, we sent nurses, including myself, to patients' homes who had active COVID infections, and we would administer IV fluids, like you mentioned, and it kept them out of the hospital. It was very effective.
Wow. Yeah, because those hospitals were really full at that time.
Yes, and they were places you do not want to be. You still don't want to be in the hospital, typically.
Yeah, right, exactly, because of the fact you were saying some people would get COVID while they were in the hospital.
Many people contracted COVID in the hospital. Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely true.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So, thank you for your service, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Go Navy.
Go Navy. And you said Marines, too?
I worked with the Marines out of Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. I was the incoming casualty receiving officer. My background was emergency medicine, so I worked with them.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Whatever got you into medicine?
I was a little farm boy in Pennsylvania. I worked in a veterinary hospital in high school, and I got a scholarship to go to the University of Florida. Go Gators.
Oh, there you go.
And I was in the ROTC program, so when I graduated, I got commissioned as a United States Naval officer. They sent me to Virginia, where I started, and I worked as a pediatric and then ER nurse.
Interesting. And you've gone on and you've got your nursing degree. So you've got this RN Enterprises. I mean, it's pretty big.
We have grown very fast. We now have over 250 nurses in 22 states. Our headquarters are right here in Jacksonville. We have 9 offices throughout the state of Florida. We have a great team of people. We really promote education and training with our nurses and just do what we have to do to take care of the patients the best way possible. Everybody's heart and soul is really into it on our team, so I love it every day.
One last question. Did you ever think it would get this big?
Beyond my wildest dreams, I never really envisioned that it would blow up this fast. just trying to keep the wheels on the cart has been challenging. But I think we're providing a great service, and there's definitely a demand across the country for it. So we're going to keep charging.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being on the show. To learn more about Rodney G.B. Clements, go to iwantabuzz.com. And that's it for this segment, and I'll catch you in the next one. With Storehouse Media Group, we are an award-winning publisher, and we are everything books. We take an author who wants to write a book, whether it's with a concept and we help flesh it out and develop it, or we will write the book for them, or we edit the book, or we publish the book, and we can market it to bestseller. All of the above. We just everything books. That's what Storehouse Media Group is.